watching Sunday Morning Matters on KC24, your local election headquarters.
From Governor Gavin Newsom to congressmen to Fortune 500 companies, the who's who of California descended into downtown Fresno for the largest economic summit ever held in the state. The three-day summit was full of tours, seminars, and yes, California dreaming. Let's bring in our dream panel for the week. Time to make roll call here. News director and managing editor for GV Wire, Bill McEwen, the mayor of Kingsburg, Michelle Roman, and the CEO of the Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce, and one of the co-chairs for the California Economic Summit, Tara Lynn Gray. Welcome, one and all. Guess what, Tara? You're up. I mean, you're co-chair here. This is big time. For the average residents, you know, when we talk about this economic summit here, who didn't get to go? Because, you know, you got to pay a large registration fee, all that good stuff. Is there something that, and you heard from the former mayor, Ashley Swearingen, is there something that we can really wrap our arms around, whether it be downtown Fresno or anywhere in the Central Valley, that will come out of this summit?
Well, I think first of all, the opportunity to host this event in our region, in our city, is a significant opportunity. We benefit from the earned revenue here. We had 1,000 people descend on the city for this. We have receptions all over the city. We are getting a small economic boom from these 2 days.
But after that, I mean, with all the talk that happens, and there's a lot of talk, whether it be housing, education, high-speed rail, everything that goes into that, will we see something from it? That's really what I'm getting at.
Well, I think that the conference in and of itself is really about problem solving on the largest problems that we are facing. We talked about affordable housing today. We talked about driving our region's inclusive and vibrant economy, which is a major push that the Community Foundation has been working on, Ashley's group. It's a huge collaborative for our community.
Michelle, I want to come to you now because Kingsburg may not see a lot of this direct revenue, but it could, you know, from it, could something come of it. I know you're still fighting for the T-Mobile headquarters.
I was just going to say, you know, we're still pushing for that. So what I hope comes out of this is that, you know, you see people that, you know, that Ashley had mentioned that are coming to our region and that said, I didn't even know this existed. And so I'm not even talking about Fresno, I'm talking about the entire Central Valley region. And we always need that. You know, to have a T-Mobile come here, you know, is one thing, but we're talking about other businesses. We want them to come here and see that not only do we have people that want to be employed, and we want those high-paying jobs to come here, and then that just goes back into our economy. So we want to say, listen, we're all open for business. All of our cities really are vying for those companies to come here and to open up those shops.
Bill, I guess I could call on you to be the cynic in the crowd. I don't know here because, you know, even the former mayor, Ashley Swearingen, said it, hey, we're not really trying to hide anything here. We got some real issues that we're battling, and it's not going to happen overnight. We've seen that. So when you talk about high-speed rail, employment, housing, wages, what do you think that is really the biggest concern that something may get done out of this?
So first of all, the exposure is very good, opportunity to bring investment to the area. We need to talk about the Fresno Drive plan, which is a 10-year plan and basically would require more than $400 million to implement. That's where, you know, I think hard questions need to be asked, but I also think that the underpinning of all of this, again, is Fresno Unified School District, and if a district cannot produce kids, graduates that can go to CSU Fresno and into the UC system and stay here and fill these jobs. That is the challenge. One of the things that people always, to me, it's amazing that they don't look at the real problem, because we're always talking about incentives to bring people here and this kind of thing. What we need to bring high-paying jobs here is a highly skilled workforce. So again, Drive is going to be put on the table, but the pressure is going to be on Fresno Unified.
You're talking about education as one of the big problems maybe plaguing California. So I'll leave it to you real quick to finish this up. Besides politics, what is plaguing California?
I think I think that one of the things that we uncovered in the drive process is that we've got to deal with race and equity, and that is one of the problems that is plaguing our state. It's plaguing our nation. But we have uncovered that there are some traditional and historical wrongs that need to be righted, and in order to get at that educational attainment gap that has been identified, we have got to deal with the factors that influence that.
Michelle, punctuate this topic.
Well, going back to with education, early care and education is really important too. You know, if we don't start them off on the right foot, we'll never get into that workforce that will be the educated workforce. So early care and education is also really important too.
I want to finish with this: the PG&E buyout rollover. I know a lot of California mayors are starting to really get on this campaign. You heard from Clovis Mayor Drew Bessinger on this. Should Governor Newsom, what do you make of him trying to now do this bankruptcy deal? Or could we actually see PG&E ultimately fold out of this? How does PG&E come out of this? Or is it time to finally say we have a customer-owned utility company? Bill, I'll start with you because it's complex.
Okay, so you want to know why Governor Newsom was hard on PG&E?
Careful, Michelle.
And then spun? Sorry about that. I mean, the reality is energy concerns cost Gray Davis's job. Gavin Newsom's very aware of that, so he has to come out swinging against PG&E. But then he has to deal with the reality. And I think at this point, I would say all options have to be on the table, and I want all these options fully explored. Then we make a decision. And let me say this, if we do go to a community-owned power system, the #1 rule ought to be they can't hire anyone who ever worked at the corporate level for PG&E.
And okay, you're a mayor, Michelle. You on this? Are you going to join Drew Bessinger and the other mayors?
Well, I'm like Drew that, you know, obviously that's something I'd have to go back to my council to see if that was something they'd want me to support. Now, I wear a different hat as well, as I was born and raised in the mountains, and my family and my friends have really suffered with these blackouts. And it's been very tough. And so, from a perspective as a daughter and friends who have been dealing with this, you know, I see where they're very angry with PG&E, and so I agree with we'd have to really look at every different aspect of this. And would I be supportive of breaking this up and being somebody? Honestly, I would support something
Tara,
like this.
I got 10 seconds. Do you think it's time for PG&E to fold completely?
I think there's some good people at PG&E in a bad situation. And I think small businesses cannot afford these rolling blackouts and days-long outages. Something must be done. Instead of entertaining the foolishness of banning natural gas, I think the PUC needs to seriously deal with this.
We'll see
like
how
the
it plays
they're
out.
putting them on them right now, though. It makes me feel good.
All right, hang tight. We got a lot more to come.